Hey there, I'm here to walk you through where our class is at this point in the semester. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd, and this is Communication Theory and Popular Culture with Professor Amanda Whitten. I'm going to click over here on the Content tab, and as we come into our classroom, you are going to notice the schedule of class and assignments. Go ahead and click on that. I've updated it to reflect where we are as of today, which is the live class where we talked a bit about the rhetorical situation. If you'll see here, the live classes are listed as well as any specific discussion that we will be having that day. So as you'll note, we will be talking about privilege, power, and difference. And then we'll also talk a little about culture jamming. And then I've laid out the next month of live classes, some areas where you will decide as a class, and then times when we'll meet and we can either chat or talk about assignments that are up and coming. Noticing where we're going next, over on our menu bar, you will notice the analysis paper, descriptions, and prompts. So that is new to our schedule at this point. If you want to click on the rhetorical analysis papers, you will get a brief overview of these papers. You'll see artifacts and a friendly reminder as to how to apply them to your papers this semester, and then simply what to cover in each of your papers and where you should go with them. When you go back into this same part of the module of the analysis paper, description, and prompts, you'll come down here and see paper number 1, paper number 2, and paper number 3. Each of them is laid out, letting you know which perspective, theory, and or nope, that's it, just which perspective or theory you can cover, and we will go over those, of course, the weeks before they are due, in person or in class, and you can ask questions at any time, but keep an eye out on that, and I'd get reading on that sooner rather than later, at least understanding the overview of the assignment. And then the other thing that you may want to note because of today's class is that this was the PowerPoint that we went over in today's lecture. You can review that, and I will eventually put a Zoom here for the lectures that took place during the time. And then the last thing that I wanted to let you know about is, let me just see what else we have right here. Nope, that's about it there. The last thing I wanted to let you know about, however, is what we are doing this week, and that's going to inform how I decided to go about the final part of our semester. So I decided to cut the paper, which I explained a bit about in my email. Let me just go here real quick. Paper description. Sorry, y'all. Where was this? Okay, there we go. Whoa, Amanda. So, as I told y'all last week, I am no longer going to be doing the rhetorical analysis paper, the cumulative rhetorical analysis paper. I have come to find that when I look at the breadth and depth of your assignments already and what you already can achieve via those particular assignments in meeting your competencies, we are good to go forward without having to do these larger projects. So we're going to do a little bit something smaller, and it's going to revolve around something or a concept called culture jamming, and we'll talk about what that is a bit later But for right now, feel free to read a little bit about what we're going to do this week. We discussed today in class the rhetorical situation. Why? Because your papers, any type of analysis paper, is going to start with setting you up, giving you an introduction, contextualizing information. And the best way that that information can be contextualized and ensure that you're identifying the necessary components of any rhetorical argument is to first describe and explain the rhetorical situation. And so we talked a bit about that today, what parts and aspects of the rhetorical situation to examine, and then also what types of questions to ask when looking at those specific parts. So feel free to go back and look at the PowerPoint, because that's going to let you see those specific questions, and then also hopefully inform any outstanding rationalization that you may need on why we would use something like this and would be important to study right now, especially with and in terms of popular culture. Over here, I give you a little bit information in terms of privilege, power, and distance, and it will be due this Sunday, the 27th. And then some fun about the Emmy Awards, and we talked a little bit about it in class today, and talked about some highlights, but feel free to throw something up on the board if there is anything that you saw. That being said, anything else we need to put in here? No, I believe that is it in the what to do. But here I started to speak a bit about Culture Jam and what Culture Jamming is. Like I said, we are going to be doing a analysis and creation of our own Culture Jam and a Culture Jam in this class. So before I go down that rabbit hole, our first steps are simply to understand what culture jamming is, and I asked that each of y'all take some time and read through the Wikipedia page. It's very easy to read, and it gives you a sound, holistic overview and has excellent resources to address. And then the other article is by a media studies professor, and applying it not to entertainment media, but in turn applying it for social change So yes, using social media or popular culture as a vehicle for change, but also seeing how it could be used outside of popular culture as well. Keeping that in mind, it will help you when you come to class or view class on Thursday to understand the different artifacts that I'll present for us to look at for our assignment that will be due on Sunday, the one that addresses and is about the rhetorical situation. So I hope that helped, and I hope that this gave you some insight to where our schedule is going and what to do for this week. Oh, and if I didn't mention it, I think I did, but we will be talking on Thursday about our final project with the culture jamming, but how it's going to fit in to the schedule and when we'll actually start preparing for that.